Is this thing recording? Y'all, it is December. I just wanted to announce that because I know this video is not going up in December and my Christmas tree is right behind me, so by the time this video goes up, my Christmas tree is down. We call it the Charlie Brown tree. It isn't super full. You see the little gaps. Anyways, so I just washed my hands and put on lotion. My lotion smells so good. But anyways, welcome back to my channel. If you are new, welcome. My name is Milan, for those of you who do not know. In today's video, I'm going to be showing you guys every book that I own as of right now, the current moment. Still 2021. This video is definitely going up next year, but at the current moment right now, these are all the books that I have. Bro, what? Okay. The first one, this book is called Get a Life, Chloe Brown. If you do not know, this is the second book in the Sisters trilogy. I loved every single book in, well, I can't say I loved every single book because I'm actually currently reading the third book in the trilogy. Woo! Okay, I'm getting really close. I feel like I should back up, but I kind of want to be close to the camera so y'all can really feel as if you're in the room with me.
Are you dumb?
I think she's dumb. I think she's dumb.
Are you,
like, medically speaking?
I have maybe 30 pages left in the third one. Depending on the ending, I most likely will like the book. Because so far, I love the book. But the ending is going to play a huge role. It's a romance. So I don't know if they're going to end up together or not. I think they will. But with me, I'm never right. But we're not talking about the third book. We're talking about the second book, which is Get a Life, Chloe Brown. This book, I'm pretty sure I gave a 10 out of 10. I'll put the rating on the screen. With a lot of these books, I rate them on Goodreads, and I rate them really close to when I finish the book. It's months after, and I am now talking about all of these books. So I don't want to give you guys my rating right now because it's not accurate. So if I say the wrong one, just go off of the rating on the screen, okay? This book was fabulous. I loved it so much. I'm more than positive that I gave it a 10 out of 10. Regardless if your go-to books are romance or not, you are going to love this book. It is not just a romance book. It's very funny. There's so many parts that are so sarcastic. There are also some steamy parts, so you're definitely gonna get that romance feel. And you also just get friendship. This author is known for having that sarcastic feel to her writing style. She jokes a lot. It's funny. You get giggles. You get the laughs. It's just a really good time, okay? So go ahead and pick up Get a Life, Chloe Brown if you want to. I really do recommend it. All right, we have Little Deadly Secrets. Ooh! The synopsis is not long, so I'm just gonna read it for you. Mackenzie, Robin, and Lily have been inseparable forever, sharing lives' ups and downs, even closer as the years have gone by. They know everything about each other, or so they believe. Nothing could come between these three best friends except for betrayal. Nothing could turn them against each other except for a terrible past mistake. Nothing could tear them apart except for murder. I feel like I have to make the brightness a little bit brighter. That should be better. I don't want it to be overexposed because when I'm showing the book, that's fine. I remember buying this book because of the cover and because of this part right here. Can y'all see that? I'll read it in a second. But that's the synopsis. I definitely recommend you guys read this. I gave it a 10 out of 10. This author, perfect. I gave this book to my best friend to borrow so she can read it. She loved it. I mean, let me put y'all on, basically. Little Deadly Secrets. I remember being in Barnes & Noble, looking at books. I wanted to buy a book that day. I ended up on this one, and the whole reason, y'all know I like to go into books completely blind. So when I bought the book, I didn't read the summary. I saw this book. First of all, the cover is everything. I love the color scheme. I love the flowers. That's what really drew me in. I was captivated towards it after I read this little part. Let me tell you. Ooh! It says, 3 best friends, 2 unforgivable sins, 1 dead body. That was enough for me to read it, and I'm so glad that I did. So go pick this up, okay? Oh my goodness. I will be doing a video dedicated to this book, reviewing it and talking about it in full detail. So I will not be going into detail. I need to stop myself because I will. This book, first of all, let me hit y'all with the well-known fact about this book. Unbelievable. Unbelievable what I'm about to say. Over 4 million copies of this book have been sold worldwide. Who you know? Bro, what other author? Bro, oh my. I'm sorry, let me relax. What other author has over, not 4 million, over 4 million copies of one book sold, one story? And bro, and this book deserves that. This author deserves that. I know I've been raving so far about every book, and I've only shown y'all 2. This is only the 3rd book, but I put this book above both of the books that I've already showed you guys. I haven't even told you guys what the book is about. I shouldn't have to. Go read it. Also, just to let you guys know, I will be linking every single book that I show in this video down below in my description. So if you get the title, go in my description, it'll be there. Purchase this book, please. Also, don't buy any of these books from Barnes & Noble. You can get them so much cheaper on Amazon. I bought this book at Barnes & Noble for $18. On Amazon, it's $5 less. So please, with all of these books, save your money. I'm dumb, and I be spending a bag on books. Don't be like me. Go on Amazon. Like, please, save your coins, because it adds up, especially if you love to read the way I do and you have a lot of books. Use Amazon. I will leave the links. But anyways, this book right here, okay, I don't really know how to give a summary without giving too much away. A woman is accused of killing her husband. Some guy, just like everybody else, he found out from social media, the news, and he wants to basically investigate and try to figure out, like, why did she do it, what's the backstory. And he's a psychotherapist, so it's kind of his job. That's all I'm gonna say. Now you may think that just from that summary, this book is boring because that was such a short summary. But bro, there's so much that is embedded into this book. Like, oh my gosh. Let me relax. I really do start to overheat when I talk about books because I get too into it, so I need to like relax. There's so much embedded into this book that is mind-blowing. The plot twist at the end. See, people like my dad, he will watch 30 seconds of a trailer for some movie and he will literally know how the movie ends just by the trailer. He is very good with figuring out endings with the bare minimum. I am so sure that if he read this book, he wouldn't be able to figure out the ending. He wouldn't. And that's saying something, because that dude, like, my dad could figure stuff out. While you read it, you're probably gonna think you know what happened to this person, how did this happen, this. You're gonna like start putting the pieces together. Like, you're gonna be like, oh, yes. You get to the chapter where stuff starts to be exposed and you was so wrong. Like, I was so wrong. I really thought I had it going on. The main 2 people that I think can guess the ending of a movie or a book very well and get it right are my best friend and my dad. I can put money that they will not be able to figure out the ending. I already told my dad the ending because I had to rant about the book to somebody, and he's a bookworm like myself, so he knows the ending because I told him. But if I didn't tell him and he read it, he wouldn't be able to figure it out. My best friend, she is going to read it. I'm gonna give her the book so she can read it. She is not going to be able to figure it out. I'm telling you. And that's saying something because every time I give her a book, she guesses the ending. And I'm like, bro, you're crazy. Like, how do you know that? I don't care how many books you think you want to read. This one you want to read whether you know it or not. That's that. This is not no calm, cool, collected, cordial book. Go on the beach and read. No, you... Crazy. Like, what the heck? Lips dry. All right, moving on to the next book, Love and Other Words by Christina Lauren. This is a romance. If you read this, needless to say, one of the best romances ever written. And I mean that. If you have read It Ends With Us and you liked it, you will love this. Vice versa. If you have read this and you liked it, you will love It Ends With Us by Colin Hoover. Both of these books are so phenomenal, and the reason why I put those two together is because they kind of have the same storyline, but they're really different and they're really unique. Those two books right there are phenomenal. But I'm not talking about both of those books. I'm only talking about one of them, which is Love in Other Words. So please go pick this up. I really do love this book so much. I'm pretty sure I gave this a 10 out of, I know. I didn't give this a 9 out of 10. There's no way. I bawled my freaking eyes out at the end of this book, and I did the same exact thing when I read It Ends With Us. Colin Hoover and Christina Lauren are tied between my top #1 romance authors, favorite romance authors. They do so good with giving you that romance feel, you know, making it steamy, and then you also get heartbroken and you are bawling like you can't stop the tears from coming. The book is great. Go read Love in Other Words by Christina Lauren. This is my 4th book by Christina Lauren. The next one I get is most likely going to be The Soulmate Equation. And I know I'm gonna love it because Christina Lauren wrote it. Like, there's no way I'm gonna hate any of her books. I'm surefire on that. That is all I'm going to say. Go pick up the book. It's such a cute book, but you gonna cry. This is also by Christina Lauren. Duh. Josh and Hazel's Guide to Not Dating. This book is so thin, you guys. I'm not going to waste my time talking about this for 10-15 minutes. This is something you should read in the summer. It is a romance and it's very, very fun. 2 people were best friends and, well, they were acquaintances in college, and they leave college, they don't stay in contact. Then they somehow meet at some event and they start to like build a friendship, but they're building their friendship off of relationships. Other relationships, there's Josh and there's Hazel. Josh will get one of his guy friends to go on a date with Hazel. Hazel will get one of her girlfriends to go on a date with Josh. So now Josh has a date to go on and Hazel has a date to go on, and they will go on those dates together. So double date. You're basically experiencing all of their double dates together. It's not like they only gave each other one date. They're setting each other up with multiple people. So throughout the story, you are going through every day and the setup and all that. I really do feel for Hazel. I resonate so well with her. She's very enigmatic, and a lot of people look at her a certain way. I just love her character, and she literally reminds me of myself. So I think that's another reason why I mainly enjoyed the book. I feel as if that's also why my rating is kind of high, because I resonate with the character. I would definitely say read this if you want to get into reading. This is the book you need to start off with. That's all I'm going to say for Josh and Hazel's Guide to Not Dating. Pick it up. Yeah. All right. Why are we doing all of Christina Lauren's books? I think it's because I had all her books together, which makes sense. This is thick. Like, okay, very, very thick. A lot thicker than the other one. Hold on. Ooh, let me show y'all the difference. Can you see the difference? See, on camera, you can't really tell how much of a difference it is, but in person, when you are holding it and you are feeling it, there is a fat difference, yo. And when you're reading it, it definitely feels longer. This is the very first book that I read by her, The Unhoneymooners. This went viral. I mean viral on TikTok, maybe mid 2021. I gave it a 9 out of 10. And I know exactly why I gave it a 9 out of 10. I went into this book knowing something that I consider a spoiler. I'm going to say what it is. So if you don't want to hear anything about this book, if you don't want to know a damn thing and you want to go into it completely blind the way I wish I did, skip to the time that I'm going to put on the screen right here, because I'm about to say like the spoiler. This book is a enemies to lovers, and I consider that a spoiler because when I'm reading a book that I know is a enemies to lovers, I'm just waiting for the part where they make up, you know, fall in love, kiss, blah blah blah, happily ever after. You know, I'm just waiting for that part. That's why I gave this book a 9 out of 10. If I didn't know that, I would have given it a 10 out of 10, I will say. So that is all. Okay, that is all I'm going to say for this book. I'm trying not to talk too much and kind of speed through this video so I'm not here all day. Okay, these are the last 3 in the first pile, and then we're going to go to the second pile. This is also by Christina Lauren. I think this is my least favorite book by her out of all of them. It is called If You Know What Half Night Stand Means. Put the pieces together. If you know what a one night stand is, then you can figure out what a half night stand is, sorta, at least. You would think the book is spicy and steamy. It's not. This junk is literally a regular romance, I guess. It was okay. I don't remember what I rated it, so I will be putting that rating on the screen. Yeah, So the story isn't crazy. Yeah, this one just didn't make the cut. I wish the main character, the female main character, was more resilient, and I wish that it showed. But I also think I understand where Christina was going with the book. I think she was trying to show that not everybody can express their emotions easily, and it takes time. In this book, you definitely feel the part where it takes time, because it feels like throughout the whole book, the girl is struggling. In the end, you figure out if she ends up fixing her problem or not. I'm gonna be honest, I don't remember if she fixed her problem or not. I can't even spoil it if I wanted to. I don't remember. So I'm not gonna talk any further about that book. We're gonna move on to the next one, which is Then She Was Gone. This one, I don't even know what I rated it. Sorry, I'm being so rude. Like, I'm gonna flame this book. In my head, I already have stuff going about why I didn't like this book. And it just seems like I'm being rude now because I just flamed the other book. But I'm being honest. I didn't really like this book. It's a thriller / mystery. Some little teenage girl goes missing. While you're reading the book, bro, from the first chapter, you can figure out what happens. I'll be figuring stuff out. I'll be wrong, and I was right. I don't want to talk too bad about this book because I will say towards the end, it did get pretty interesting. Sorta. When I figured out what was gonna happen, and it happened, I thought that was the end. But there was something added on to that plot twist that I didn't see coming, which connected the dots with other stuff. So I kind of just figured out the basic part, but that even bothered me. I wish that she wrote the beginning a little bit differently, because if she wrote the beginning differently, I wouldn't have known the plot twist at all. But she basically like makes it known. Maybe when she wrote it, she thought she was doing something, but you wasn't. This is not by Christina Lauren, by the way. Christina Lauren has not written a thriller as of currently. This is by Lisa. I'm going to give this author another try. Although I'm kind of talking bad, I'm going to read another one of her books, because everybody that reviewed this book on Goodreads said the same thing. They were saying how this one didn't meet their expectations. The first book that they read was The Family Upstairs. I think that's what it's called, yeah. Everybody on Goodreads read The Family Upstairs, and then they read Then She Was Gone. So their expectations were super, super high for this book, and it didn't meet those expectations. So because everybody talks so highly about The Family Upstairs and not so highly about this one, I'm gonna give The Family Upstairs a try, and that'll be the second book that I read by Lisa. If I don't like that one, I'm done with this author. It really only takes 2 bad books for me to be done with the author. Last book in this pile, I read this at the beginning of my reading reading journey. It's not really a reading journey, I just don't know what else to call it. Reading is a lifestyle for me. I do it every day. It's not something that I'm trying to get better at. Like, I just read, it's my life. I don't know what else to say, so I'm just gonna call it a journey. But I read this. This is called Party of Two. This is by Jasmine Guillory. I liked this one enough to get another one of her books. This one was not bad. I do remember giving this like kind of a low rating. I'll check my Goodreads and put it on the screen, but yeah, I remember enjoying it, but it wasn't like phenomenal, blow me at the park. Nah. I really do hate this cover. I'm sorry, I don't like that. It makes me uncomfortable. It doesn't fit in at all with the story. If the cover goes very well with the story, that's just like a plus. Not only the cover design, but the title. The book, It Ends With Us by Colleen Hoover. If you have read It Ends With Us, you know that the title, like after you finish the book, bro, like that last page of It Ends With Us, once you finish that last page, you close the book, you look at the cover, you read the title again, and you and Then She Was Gone, it didn't do that. So yeah, that's another reason why I just don't like the cover. This right here is the first pile. These are the spines for all of the books that I just showed you guys. Okay, It Ends With Us, the book that I have already mentioned at least 3 times in this video. I know you have seen this book. I know you have heard about this book. There's no way you haven't. Not if you are on TikTok, not if you are on Instagram, not if you are on any social media platform. This was, I think, my 3rd romance that I ever read. I currently don't have a tangible copy of this one particular book, but it's called Tell Me Lies. That book, I remember one part, I was crying. Finished that book, whatever, life goes on, and I read this one. I cried even more in this one than I did in Tell Me Lies. You are going to need to do your research a little bit on this book. There are trigger warnings. I do not want to say what the trigger warnings are. I'm going to, but I'm going to give you guys the option to skip this part, because I consider, well, yeah, I consider trigger warnings to be spoilers, I like to go into something not knowing that one of the characters is a drug addict. If you do not want to know, I'm gonna give you guys the option to skip. So click this time right here. Click it. Now I'm gonna say what the trigger warnings for this book are, okay? Okay, the themes of this book are domestic violence and abusive relationships. So if you have any concerns or any ill feeling about that, don't read this book. Like, legit, don't read it. It's very detailed. The scenes are on point. You feel as if you're like in the moment. I know some books have trigger warnings for domestic violence or drugs or something like that, but sometimes it's not super deep, so you can skip over it. But this one, like, there's no skipping over it. I do not consider this a romance, at least to a certain degree, to a certain extent. I could see why, I definitely see why it is considered a romance. I get that. But this is a more real life book for me. I would say to be at least 18 to read it, but I know there's 15-year-olds that have read this book. Woo! Oh my goodness. And then one part, I'm sorry, I have to talk about this. I'm just gonna say this is considered a spoiler, so skip to the time that I'm going to put on the screen. There's certain things I just have to talk about. If you read the book, you know the part where she's in the restaurant with her current boyfriend, then her ex from like her childhood, her phenomenal ex Atlas, the best man on earth. He is the owner of the restaurant that they're in, and so he comes and he is basically like, oh, how can I take your order? And then they see each other and they don't say anything. They're not like, oh my God, hey ex. No, y'all know, if y'all read the story, y'all know, like, they don't make it known that they know each other. Then she goes to the bathroom. Atlas, her ex, follows her in the bathroom and talks. He's like worried about her because she had like a bruise. I forget what the bruise was. If he sees a bruise on her, he automatically thinks like abuse and something's wrong. So he was like, are you okay? Blah, blah, blah. I don't remember exactly. I need to read it again. Something happened, but they end up walking out the bathroom together. And as they're walking out the bathroom, Lily's current boyfriend is walking like to the bathroom, and it just looks sus. Imagine you and your ex walking out the bathroom and your current boyfriend sees you walking out the bathroom with your ex. All y'all were doing was talking, checking up, making sure everything's good, but that just looks sus. So automatically Riley goes off and he's like, why were you in the bathroom basically with this dude? And then she's like, oh no, it's just Atlas, like, don't worry about it. And he goes, Atlas, because she gets talked about Atlas to Riley before, and he's like, blah blah blah, like, what the heck, why are you in there, whatever. And she's like, no, it's not like that, because it's really not like that. This is the part that I wanted to say. He literally says, oh, this is the guy you pity. Let's say, how do I say this without getting demonetized? Let's say you have intercourse. There's a bad word for intercourse, and it starts with the F. Y'all picking up what the word I mean? It's 4 letters. It starts with the F, ends with a K. There's a U and a C in the middle. That word, okay? So Riley goes, oh, is that the guy you pity? Beep. And you know, that blew, bro. My camera freaking cut off, but that part of the book blew me away. I was like, oh, no, he didn't just say that. Because you know from the beginning of the book, in like her diaries, it takes us back to when she actually had intercourse for the first time, and it was with him. And at the time, he was a teenager and he was homeless. Y'all know if y'all read the book. And he said it, and Alice was right there. That's what killed me. You gonna say that junk in front of him, in front of her ex. And they have like good history. Lily and her ex, like, their history is great. But and then Alice gonna hear Lily's current boyfriend say that Lily was just doing it like because she felt bad because he was homeless at the time. That is the moment I slowly started to not like Riley. That moment right there. Well, I believe there was a moment before that, definitely. That part killed me. How you, I wish a would say that I pity somebody in front of the person that I like. What the, I don't care how mad you are, because why did you take it that far? I don't care if you see me walking out the bathroom with freaking Obama. Don't say that. I am done spoiling. That was probably so long. I'll probably cut it out. This book right here is #1. The Silent Patient is also #1. Silent Patient is a thriller. This is a romance. That's why I think it's okay for me to have 2 #1s, because they're in different genres. So we are just going to knock all of the Colleen Hoover books out the park right now because they're all stacked together. Next up is Ugly Love by Colleen Hoover. I love the cover, which is so funny. At the beginning, I hated this cover so much. I literally thought it was so ugly. My friend tried to put me on to this book. When she showed me, I was like, oh, I'm not trying to read about no guy and girl in the ocean. Like, I literally thought the two main characters were basically going to be on a boat in the whole book, and I never gave the book a chance, even though she kept telling me like it's so good, it's so good, it's so good. Finally, I gave it a chance after. It's because I read this, and this is by the same author. Now, you gotta be 18 to read this. Also, no, this is not a review. I'm not talking about the characters right now. No, moving on. Also by Colleen Hoover. I think I've mentioned this before, but this is my least favorite book by Colleen Hoover. It is called Heartbones. I would expect this to be just okay compared to like this, you know. And that's another thing I want to say. If you have never read a Colleen Hoover book, don't read this one first. If you read this one first, every other book that you read by her is not going to meet the expectation. I feel like you should read this one like either last or in the middle. My camera's gonna die, so let me switch the battery. Next two books are also by Colleen Hoover. We have November 9th and Verity. You should read Ugly Love first and then read November 9. They are both standalones, meaning they have their own endings. There's no plot twist at the end that leaves you on a cliffhanger. There are characters in this book that do pop in this book. So that's why a lot of people say that you should read them like in a certain order, this one first and then this one. That's what I did. I loved this one a lot more than I love this one. There's that book. And then we have, Verity by Colleen Hoover. This is my second favorite book, not of all time, but just my second favorite book by Colleen Hoover. I love this so much. This is the only thriller, as of right now, this is the only thriller that she has ever written. Homegirl in the story thinks she's tripping, and I'm like, yeah, I'm tripping with you, girl, because what the heck, like, it's creepy. You need to be 18 to read this book as well for various reasons. I want to do a whole separate video on this book so badly. Last book, oh wait, no, two more books by Colleen Hoover. Dang, I thought I was done with Colleen Hoover. I still got two more. We have Regretting You and Layla. I'm not reading all that. I know what it's about, but I feel like if I explain it, I'm gonna spoil something, so I'm not even gonna waste my time. This is Regretting You by Colleen Hoover. This one is pretty cool because you get two perspectives. You get the mother's perspective and then the daughter's perspective. It's so cool. It's just really different. So that's why at the beginning I was questioning if I liked this book because it's so different from her other ones. But I don't know. I think it's just the perspective aspect of it. Again, all of the ratings that I have for these books will be put on the screen. Dang, my stutter was lethal right there. These are all of the books by Colleen Hoover that I own as of right now. So yeah. Woo! All right. So these are all by the exact same author, Helen Huang. I might be saying her last name wrong. Don't come for me, bro. I'm probably saying it wrong. I will be ranking them because it is a trilogy. This is the first one. This is the second one. And then this is the third one. First one was my favorite. This is the Kiss Quotin'. I never say it right. I feel like you guys know at this point. Every time I bring up this book, I'm never gonna say it right. But the Kiss Quotin', it is so good. And it's crazy because the cover looks so innocent. I did not know what I was getting into. My second favorite one, I would probably have to give it to The Heart Principle. And the third one is The Bride Test. This one was cool. I'm gonna be real, I don't really remember what happened in this one. Either these tie or this one's my second favorite. I'm done. I am done, y'all. I'm going to be doing a part 2, I promise, but I need to eat. With all that being said, I love you guys so much. Please make sure to like and subscribe. If you guys enjoyed this video, let me know down below. If there's certain content that you want to see from me, let it be known in the comment section and I'll do it. Anyways, with all that being said, I love you guys so much and I'll see you guys in my next video. Love and light. Bye.